What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Pikachu to my Ash Ketchum. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I wish you just used that Thunderbolt Stone or whatever and let me grow up into a Raichu, but it's not happening.
It's just the Thunderstone.
My tomato potato. You're you're going off of the dubs. I'm doing the original manga subs.
Are you?
No.
Yeah, I had to use that reference because I beat Diamond over the weekend. So
Oh, nice. With a Pikachu.
no,
What was your starter Pokemon? I won't know what it is because I've not played that one. I know it's gonna be something completely out there, but
I went with Turtwig. He's a little grass turtle.
nice. That's probably what I would have gone with because I love turtles.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Google him right now.
he's pretty cute.
Oh yeah, he's a cute little guy.
Yeah, and he dual types into grass ground for his third evolution, so he's pretty tanky.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Good game, highly recommended. Now I'm working through some of the post game stuff, so that's been fun.
Yeah. You gonna catch all the Pokemon?
Now I did um complete the Sinnoh Pokedex, and to do
Nice.
that you just have to like see all of them. You don't have to
Oh,
capture
okay.
all of them. So
You just murdered all of them.
yes,
I
but
had a
anyway.
I had an old manager when like Omega Ruby came out. He's like, yeah, like we're doing this big wedding. I'm just gonna lock myself in my office, hope no one needs me because I'm gonna get all of them tonight. I'm just like, that's insane.
There's no way that that happened.
I mean, I hope not, because I don't think I worked that wedding, but it was like those weddings were crazy. Like he was gonna be needed. So like let's hope not.
But I mean, what a way to kill some time.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, let's get into our news. You have a few more points than me, so I'll let you take it away.
All right. So first thing, this kind of came out, I think midweek, and people were freaking out about it. The Batman's going to be rated PG-13 for strong violence, and for strong, violent, and disturbing content, drug content, strong language, and some suggestive material. People are like, it's not gonna be good because you can't make a good Batman PG-13. He's gotta be R. And it's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is kind of silly. Because certainly we've never had a good Batman
Yeah.
before now. Because none
And
of them have been rated R, right?
yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's just really really dumb. People are trying to throw a fit. I mean, I'm not the highest on this movie. If you've been listening, you kind of know that. But the fact of the matter is, it being PG-13 has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to add to that. Just watch it. If
Yeah,
you know, I mean that's all you can do, right? Think of all the great like animated stuff and non-animated stuff that we've had that was Batman related.
and then another thing, this is like very early on. Mitch Gerards tweeted that he and Tom King are working on a book together. Mitch said it's the exact book he has wanted to do his whole adult life. And then Philip Kennedy Johnson tweeted underneath, he said, is it Clifford the Big Red War Criminal? And that just really made me laugh. But do you have any guesses on what character that they could be doing that they're going to make sad next?
No, I really don't.
It's probably for the best. I don't think we're going to say anything nice about it. So
That is very true. I mean, let's be real. It's probably something not super mainstream because that's kind of their jam.
yeah.
Um, because hipsters love these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, all right. I'm gonna start on some sad news, and you already know what it is, Casey. But DC has canceled Wonder Girl. Um, issue number 7 this month is going to be its final issue, with issues 8 and 9 being repurposed for the Trial of the Amazons crossover event. I think it'll be called Trial of the Amazons Wonder Girl number 1 and 2. So it's a bummer.
It's a bunch of bull crap. Do you think they're just gonna bring her back for a new number one like Marvel?
I don't. I really don't. I mean, really, if you take the future state stuff away where they did that for like everything, they really haven't done that with too many people outside of John Ridley's Batman. So no, I don't think that they will.
See, I'm thinking I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because I mean that is an easy way to for these new characters for people to be buying, buying it just like, oh, new number one, gotta get it. I heard, like, how does it sell at your shop?
That sounds pretty decent. I'd put it like
Yeah,
mid tier.
because like I've heard like one of the reasons why is like some people are saying sales, other people are saying it's just all the delays that it's had, trying to coming out like once every 3 months or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was like that for 3 issues, but the last couple have been pretty regular, I
Yeah.
think. But I mean, that's not really an excuse though, because I realize that Jeff Johns gets what he wants, but let's look at Doomsday Clock.
Hmm.
But whatever. I guess an event book is technically a little bit different,
It shouldn't be though, because those ones should be more time sensitive than a regular book. But
especially because Clock was in the title.
exactly. But speaking of Jeffrey Johns, DC announced a return to Flashpoint. It's going to be by Jeff Johns, Tim Sheridan, Jeremy Adams, all on the writing duty. It's going to be a 6-issue series. Issue 0 comes out in April, and that one is just by Jeff Johns, but then 1 through 6 are going to be by that whole group of guys. I mean, it might be good, but it's also going to be just a complete like pointless thing.
Dude, we've said it 1,000 times, or at least I have. I'm sick of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. It's been milked dry. Jeff is just pulling at dry teats at this point. There's no more milking left to be done.
I'll say this just to give a benefit of the doubt, which he probably doesn't deserve. But I mean, you look at what Tom King did to, his Flashpoint Batman. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, like Josh Williamson's trying, kind of made him a good guy again. And Jeff is like, no, I need him back to the way he was because this guy ruined him, that type of thing. Which is like, if that's the case, I mean, I get that, but just leave Flashpoint Batman on that one Justice League team and call it good.
Yeah. No, I couldn't be less excited for that. And what sucks is it's gonna sell really well.
Yeah, and I mean, if it was like, I like Timmy Shares pretty good, and I like Jeremy Adams a lot. So it's like those two could make it interesting, but still Jeff
Who's
Johns.
Jeremy Adams?
He's Flash's writer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like those two guys are really good, but I don't know. It's just the whole Flashpoint of the thing kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
And then speaking of people that do not like Ray Fisher, Joss Whedon on Martin Luther King Day, mind you, today he released an article about his time with Ray Fisher. Just a weird time to be releasing this, but he talked about Ray Fisher and Gal Gadot's accusations against him. He said, well, I don't think with Gal, it was just she didn't understand because she's Israeli. She doesn't understand English too well. And so she doesn't understand what I was saying. So that's just, her not knowing things. And me and Ray would talk about stuff. He's not a very good actor. And a lot of his scenes didn't test well with audiences. And so like we had, just had to cut them. And I talked to him very nicely about it. And then he was very cordial to me. And then now I think he's probably being manipulated by Snyder to do this stuff, or manipulated by the fans or something. And he's coming after me, and he's just a bad actor in both of the, both ways he could be, even like a bad person and a, not good at his job. It's just like, oof, buddy. The easiest thing you could have done is not say a thing and just kind of like maybe apologize. Those like the two things, and would have worked. But then you're like, nah, I'm going to attack the black actor on Martin Luther King Day.
And also, in no way is saying Gal just didn't know English.
Yeah.
There's no way that's gonna go over well.
Yeah. So it's just like, wow, dude. I mean, just wow, it's pretty stupid on your part, man.
It is such a shame, dude, because there are some things of his that I hold very dearly.
Really, it's for me, it's like just Firefly and Serenity. Like what
Yeah,
else? Because I never watched Buffy, which I know people that did love that stuff, but
I think Buffy's cool. I still really enjoy the first Avengers movie quite a bit.
oh yeah, I forgot about that too. But that's I'm at this point, anything Marvel related, it just all the credit goes to Feige, and all the problems I have with it go to him too. It doesn't really matter
Yeah,
who's directing.
I get it, but
Yeah, that's not
I still
that's
enjoyed my time with it. So
yeah, for sure. It's not one of those things though where I don't think he had a lot to do with it. He probably did. He probably set the tone for it all and all this stuff, but still, it's like a lot of it just goes to Feige because he had everything kind of sort of mapped out.
right. But any hoozle, we'll move along and maybe
Yeah.
report back on the repercussions of that later.
I think it's just gonna be people laughing at him, and then some people would be like, "Oh, I could have agreed. I think that makes sense," and other people go,
Oh
"He's an
yeah,
idiot," So it's
right.
just
So this is a fun one, Casey. Zachary Levi says that a Chuck reunion could happen. He said on Rosenbaum's podcast, was that like Inside Me or Inside You or something like
inside of
that,
you,
right?
yeah.
Inside
Because
of You.
the tag at the end every time there's like, "Thanks for letting me be inside of you," and then they'll usually be like, "Thanks for being so gentle," or other stuff like that.
Okay. He said on that show that he had some promising talks with Josh Schwartz and Chris Vidak, and it could happen.
I would love that. The ending, I wasn't my favorite ending. I'll just say that, like, it's whatever. I just don't know what they would do. Like, it's kind of hard to make a Chuck show with him just being like, "Yeah, me and Sarah, we're married, we have kids, we're very happy." Joshua Gomez, aka Morgan, very happy. Jeffster's the greatest band ever. They're all really happy. We're still working at the buy more though, but we're all
Right.
happy.
No, I get it. But whatever they put out, I'd still watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it 100%. It's just like at this point, they're all like old friends that you get to see again.
Mhm. Which is really all I want.
Yeah,
I do just want to see them all again. But anyway, I wasn't expecting that at all. So whenever he said
same.
that, I was like, I better bring that up on the
Yeah,
podcast.
no, that's really exciting. So talking about old shows coming back, you never watched Justified, though I told you you would like it. Yeah, okay.
That is
So
correct.
yeah, it's coming back for another season. I don't know if it's just gonna be like another movie, like a movie or something, but it got announced by FX. It's coming back. Timothy Olyphant's returning. Pretty exciting, kinda. Like I'm kind of like torn on it because it had a good ending. Like it's not like a perfect ending. It's not one of those ones where it's like, "Oh, you can't touch this ending. It's perfect." But it's also like he got a nice ending. It's just like whatever. And then I'm like, you didn't really have to make more of this.
So the show didn't get canceled, like they wrapped it up like they
No, they just
wanted.
wrapped it up. Yeah, he had like there's other characters that were in it that's like you cannot bring Boyd Crowder back into this, or his wife or anything like that now. So it's like, what are you going to be doing? So yeah. Uh, and then also Doomsday is going to appear in Superman Lois season 2. Uh, I don't like
That's
this.
gonna look great.
I mean, it's like they could do it and make it kind of okay. I have a feeling they won't because it's like it's a CW show and they don't do a good job of um bringing, like I saw a clip thing where they were actively trying to show bad stuff in Flash, so like it made it look even worse. But it's like, oh boy, this is bad. But if they shoot it well, they could kind of do it like Grodd. If you remember the first season of Flash, where it's like they did that and it actually looked pretty okay. It's some of this later Flash stuff that's pretty rough ski. So it's like I'm kind of torn on it, but it seems like they're giving this show a good bit of budget, and that's one of the reasons why CW is not making any money. So maybe it's gonna look good, but from a story perspective, I don't get why they're doing Doomsday.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it's not gonna be like a whole thing.
That's even worse though.
It's CW though.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, this is one thing that would be pretty cool if they brought Doomsday in and they just killed Superman. And then they did the Return of Superman where they had like a kid be, Superboy. They had, Steel brought in and they had Cyborg Superman. That'd be pretty sweet. Have cast Henry Cavill to be Cyborg Superman. Throw everyone through a loop.
And I just don't see support for that show as cool as it would be.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would ever happen, but I'm rooting for it.
Sure.
And then speaking of kind of CWE shows, the first look at Batgirl for the movie came out. Did you look at it yet?
No, but I am right now.
Okay. I kind of put in our notes, it's kind of just whelming. Like it's not underwhelming, it's not overwhelming. It's just like yeah, this is kind of what I expected. And they're basing it off of the one costume that she made herself in the hipster series. So it's kind of, like, I don't know. It's perfectly fine. I'm not a fan of like the overly leather style though. So like like I said, it looks very CWE, and it also might be 100% better in action. That's one thing that we always say on here. It's like, if you see these costumes, odds are it's gonna look better in the action. And then also, a lot of people are even saying this is not going to be her final costume, which I bet is true. I bet she's going to end up with like the more stereotypical Babs costume by the end of the movie. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this literally just looks like a biker jacket, which
Yeah.
is like, I don't hate it. I just don't like that hipster series very much, which is the Batgirl of Burnside.
Yeah.
But I big Batgirl fan for multiple Batgirls, so I really, really want this to do well. So I'm gonna try to stay positive throughout this.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. And we have some stuff from the rumor mill that's gonna be exciting about this that came out today. And then the last thing that's kind of CW related that I'm gonna touch on before I let you talk again. Justice U is in the works at the CW with David Ramsey set to return as Diggle. Diggle is going to recruit 5 metas to live undercover at a university as he trains them to become heroes. I'm just curious if they're trying, like, because since CW's, getting bought out, like we talked, or they're trying to, sell it and whatnot, like, since they're not going to be using like really any licensed characters, like Diggle's got the ring and they're trying to make him like, reverse like he was John Stewart all along type of thing. But other than that, it's like, like, are they just trying to do like these new characters that they're making up specifically for this so they don't have to have licensing, related things and make money off of it that way?
Dude, this is one of those things where I'll believe it when I see it, because
Yeah.
just from the sounds of that, and with the buyout happening, or CW being up for sale, I do not see that happening.
I don't know, man. Like that is one of those weird things. And it's like, because I guess the guy that plays Diggle is on to be a producer. So like the way it sounds like he wants his ring when it's on. So like if they might might get a pilot, might get a couple episodes, and then they might just get canceled as soon as it gets bought out, or it might get put over on HBO, whatever.
Yeah. All right. On the movie show train here, I saw this week that Aquaman the Lost Kingdom has wrapped, so hopefully we get a trailer for that sooner rather than later.
Let's hope so. So Guillermo del Toro tweeted a picture of an Etrigan with an Etrigan poem. Like he is a fan, but maybe he's just doing that like as a nerdy fan thing. But it's also like when a creator like him tweets something like that, he knows he's going to cause a stir. So maybe there's something going on. Maybe he's going to get his Justice League Dark movie, which I heard was dead, but maybe they, more talks have happened and he's actually going to get to, or maybe he's going to get to do something with just Etrigan. It's hard to say, but it just kind of leads you to believe something else is going on.
I want that to be a thing. I really do. Whether it's just like some weird Etrigan 6-episode miniseries or Justice League Dark, I want that. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Guillermo del Toro. Like, honestly, his Hellboy is like pretty good. Pacific Rim, I think people love it way too much for what it is, in my opinion. Like at least like in the all the different kaiju podcasts I listen to, they're like, this is one of the best ones ever made. And I'm like, I don't get that. But
I
but
liked
and
it.
I mean I like it too, but like I don't know, I would not like when you try to be like, oh, it makes so much sense. Like it doesn't make that much sense. They're going out of their way to try to make it make, we have to have two brains so that the mechs work. Otherwise, you'll die. Because that's how our technology is. It's just like, this is stupid. Like, just take it for what it is. It's a dumb movie that's a lot of fun. But yes, I mean, and then like with Hellboy 2 is such a bad movie. I don't care what anyone says. It's like you have drunk Hellboy looking at the monsters that are killing people. And he's like, I don't know if I want to kill it. And he kills it. And then, he quits the FBI. It's just, I'm like, this is stupid. Why do this? Come on, get out of here.
Right.
So yeah, like, having him do an Astrocon could be really cool. The monsters will look cool no matter what. That's like one thing that you cannot deny with Del Toro.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be exciting though. And then my last bit of news is a little bit of comic book news. So I saw this originally from Entertainment Fish, but then right after that, everyone was reporting about it. But John Romita Jr. is coming back to Marvel and Spider-Man in April. Zeb Wells is going to be writing it. I mean, I saw like a small picture, and I'm not a John Romita Jr. fan, but he does draw Spider-Man pretty well. And I might give it a go, and because Zeb Wells is good too.
Yeah, that's a hard no from me. I can't do anything he draws. He's absolutely terrible. His last few issues, and especially the last one on Action Comics, is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. So that's an easy pass, which is a shame because I've been trying to give myself excuses to get back into Spider-Man. And then they do something like put out a thrice monthly title or put John Romita Jr. on it. And that's just not going to do it for me.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. I like Zeb Wells a lot. And I mean, no disrespect, but he's usually put on books right before they get canceled. He'll do like the last couple or something like that.
I think
I'm
this
not
one
saying,
will break the streak because I don't think it's Amazing Spider-Man.
Let me finish, okay?
Okay.
What I'm saying is I think he'll be the writer on it for like an arc, and
more than likely. I bet the same with Romita Jr. too. I think they're going to be doing it's like have Romita Jr. try to get some people to buy it, and then jump on with whoever else is their next person.
Yeah, but I hope that it does well for him, and I hope that he does get to stay on it for more than an arc.
Yeah.
All right. And then my final thing. Finally, after a couple years at this point, the Predator lawsuit is over and Disney settles their copyright claim. This means that the planned Hulu film can come out again, as well as the couple of years delayed Marvel comic series.
Dude, I didn't know anything about a lawsuit, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think it's Ed Brisson, was like really hyping up this Predator series a couple of years ago. I was really stoked to do it. And then the lawsuit happened and he was like, I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore. But, Disney threw enough money at it and now they have it back. So
right on. Okay, so before we get to the rumor mill, the Moon Knight trailer is supposed to drop today. So I'm going to insert that while us talking about it right here. And then we'll go to the rumor mill, which will start right now. Whenever I'm editing, this is all going to be gone, basically. Okay, so it's rumor mill time. We're taking a trip. So the first thing that I saw is, and like with this, just say like, yeah, you think it, like, are you buying it or are you selling it? As far as rumors go. Nightwing is going to appear in Batgirl. Actor Dylan O'Brien from Teen Wolf and Maze Runner is the front runner for the casting. You buying it?
I'm buying more than I'm selling on that one. I could see it happening.
I do too. I'm buying it because there was actually a picture that leaked from the set of Batgirl where it's like a thing on the side of a wall where it's like a picture of Batman and Robin, but the Robin's face is kind of scrubbed out. So Robin does exist in this universe for sure. Whether or not he became Nightwing or he got killed by Joker is up for debate. Okay, so next up is Andrew Garfield may be featured in Morbius. It could explain why things are keep getting pushed back, is what I was thinking. You buying that, or are you gonna be selling?
I think I'm selling that one. But here's the thing, that one's so crazy because I know that like there's a poster with Toby's Spider-Man on it, but they use the Oscorp building from Andrews, and it's just like at this point, I don't know. So I'm just gonna say selling.
Yeah, I'm selling too, though. I want to buy. Like, I want to
Yeah,
believe it so bad.
yeah.
Okay, so another thing, and there's gonna be lots of stuff from this from Doctor Strange, but Sophie Turner may be Jean, and she's supposed to fight Wanda in Multiverse of Madness.
I think I'm buying because I think that Marvel will have seen how much everybody loved Spider-Man No Way Home, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have to do that now with everybody we can get."
And she's actually changed her hair red. The weird thing though is they're getting Patrick's like the rumor. It's never been James McAvoy is gonna like. I mean, there's some people like just fans are saying James McAvoy, but all like the scoopers are all saying it's gonna be Patrick Stewart. So we're getting Patrick Stewart with Sophie Turner, which is odd.
That is odd.
Another thing, Marvel reached out to Ben Affleck to get him in Multiverse of Madness.
Look, you know I like that movie, Casey, so I would have been for that, but I'm selling.
I'm buying that they reached out. I'm not buying that Ben Affleck will have anything to
Oh,
do
well,
with it.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, so we may get another Mandalorian spin-off show focusing on Bo-Katan with Katie Sackhoff reprising her role. It'd be primarily backstory show featuring the planet Mandalore.
I'm buying that one.
I am too, though it is weird that they are going to be using the same actress for, past stuff. You think they'd get someone younger, but so next one, Corey Stoll, he played Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man #1, is going to play MODOK in Quantum Mania.
I mean, I guess I'm buying. Really, they don't need to. I don't know. I mean, he can just voice MODOK if he's the right voice for it.
I'm not buying that one. I'll be shocked if they ever actually put MODOK into the Marvel universe, the actual cinematic universe. I know he has his own show now, but I'm not counting that. Dane Whitman is going to appear in the season finale of Moon Knight, and they're going to mention Ghost Rider in said season finale.
I'm buying that 100%.
Yeah, same. And John Krasinski has filmed his Doctor Strange Reed Richards cameo already.
I think I'm selling that one. Has he been officially tied to that at all?
Just everyone's been saying that's what's happening. And that's the one thing. It's like, I'm buying it just because literally everyone is saying, oh, this is happening. And the last time that's been like something's been universally agreed on, we got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the Spider-Man movie. So it's like, it has to happen at this point, so I'm buying that one.
Okay, fair enough.
But that is the rumor mill.
There are some juicy ones this time.
Yeah, we'll see which ones happen. Which one do you want, like, just not buying or selling? Which one do you want to happen the most?
Honestly, I'm loving the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff so much that I love Mandalore from the Knights of the Old Republic games, so I want the Bo-Katan spinoff the most.
I want Ben Affleck Daredevil. I think that'd be hilarious just to show up.
It would be, but it's like, which one would give me more long term? And the answer is Star Wars.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so we'll now take our ad break, and then we'll be back to talk about comics. So we'll be right back. All right, man. What's the topic of the week?
Do you want to? I mean, I probably should ask you before we started, but do you want to talk about how you got awful grumpy at because of a lady that came into your shop that wanted Pokemon cards, or do you not want to talk about that?
No, that's totally fine. She's not listening to this. So, and if so, I'll just get a Facebook review about it. So yeah, this happened this week. A lady came into the shop and she wanted to buy her kid some Pokemon cards and got really upset that I have a 2-pack limit on cards and went so far as to say that it was fucking stupid in front of her, I'm guessing 5-year-old child. I'm like, gee, you're really setting a great example for your kid here. You know, people, I get kind of annoyed at the whole Karen, you know,
Yeah,
it just gets used too much, but that's exactly what was
it's the same thing
happening.
with Boomer as far as being used too much.
Yeah, for real. Um, but that's what it was. And, you know, it got to a point where I was just like, look, I'm not fighting you on it. If you want Pokemon cards, you can have 2 packs. And but right before I had to like hard put my foot down, she was like, well, can I have 2 for me and 2 for him? I'm like, that's not how it works.
It'd be hilarious if like she would have left and then like came back like it was like clearly her, but like with a fake mustache, like a bowler hat on. And like when you call her, like she's like shit. And then like she comes back again, like with like in a trench coat, like on her kid's shoulders.
Right. Just
And you're
these
like, it's
tiny little
clearly,
feet.
yeah, like it's clearly you. You should just do a thing and be really douchey about it. Be like, yeah, if you want 2, there's a $5 surcharge for every new pack. So if you want, 5 packs, you're paying 15 extra dollars.
Well, so it blows my mind because she truly acted like she'd never heard of that before. And literally every place is doing a limit.
They are, yeah.
So I was like, why did you choose my shop to be a total bitch in?
I
And
don't know.
also, if I didn't have the limit, Casey, there would have been none for her to get that day. They all would
Yeah.
have been sold out the first fucking day that I had cards in. And she doesn't think of that. She's just like,
No.
well, me. It's like, well,
Yeah.
how about you take a step back and think of everybody for just 1 second? But anyway, you know, selfish people like that drive me fucking nuts. But that was a fun little story from this past week that, gosh, dude, like, I know that, you know, it may sound like a small thing. It's just, I get lots of those small things throughout the week from a bunch of dumb fucking people. And she was just the one that broke the ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, I love my job, but stuff like that makes me never want to open the doors again sometimes.
It'd be really funny if the kid's like, Mom, I don't even like Pokemon. I just wanted a Nightwing comic. And the mom's like, no, I need this rare holographic Pikachu. God damn it.
I know. And man, there were like that same day, earlier that day, a dad with 2 kids came in and the kid was like, 2, but I wanted 5 packs. And I'm just thinking in my mind, and I never want to see your stupid little face ever again. But here we are. It's
Yeah.
just like, God, I get it. Kids, kids are gonna be kids or whatever. I also want 5 packs of
Yeah.
Pokemon cards, kid, but like just be happy with the ones you can get.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I have a genuine question though. Well, let's say a mom comes in with 5 kids, and she's like, "Can I get 5 packs? Just one for Billy, Tommy, Timmy, Billy, 2, and Sven." And and then like, would you be like, "No, you can have 2 packs"?
No, I would do one per kid.
Okay. And the mom's like, "Yes, I got 5." Like, I don't even know who these kids are.
Well, then that would be a shame on me situation. All right. Welcome back, folks. If you want to hear a terrible customer at Comic Headquarters story, then head on over to the YouTube. That is Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. But now we're going to get into the Hour Man 1 hour Casey and Jake comics talk for 1 whole hour extravaganza. And Casey, what books did you read, my friend?
We need to get this sponsored, by the way. Be like sponsored by McDonald's. But no, so I read Mighty Morphin number 15, Stillwater number 12. What's the furthest place from here? Number 3. We Ride Titans number 1. The Good Asian 8. Hotell 2 of 5. Deathstroke Inc. number 4. Task Force Z number 3. Teen Titans Academy number 10. Robin number 9. The Joker number 11. And Action Comics 1038. What about you, man?
You can get Batgirls?
I texted you late about that one, so I just ended up not getting it.
Okay. I must have just looked at the initial list then. Well, remind me to get it for you because it was a good one. Okay, I read Robin and Batman number 3, Sonic the Hedgehog Imposter Syndrome number 2, King of Spies number 2, Batgirls number 2, Action Comics 1038, Robin number 9, Joker number 11, Teen Titans Academy number 10, and Task Force Z number 3.
Right on. All right, so I'll just start us off. Started us off. I don't know what I'm talking, but with Mighty Morphin. So this is by Ryan Parrott and Marco Arena, and so this is so much better than that other Power Rangers book that I was like, oh, this is an event book. I'll just hop right in. It's gonna be great. And then it was terrible. But this is like in the middle of an event, so I don't really know what the hell is going on, but it is cool. Like you get some pretty sweet action scenes. Though I'll be honest, the baddies
so good.
Yeah. The only downside though is like the baddies are like maybe they're supposed to be this way, but they're pretty darn bland. Like you get some really cool, like the cool Megazords, which have a lot of imagination and coolness, and then you get the baddies that are just kind of like, like they just look like shapes basically, which that might be part of the the thing with them. I don't know because I don't know what the heck is going on. But
I mean, so it's not like Goldar and Rita and the putty people.
So like basically, there's this new head baddie that's got these that he's like kind of using these guys that he made a deal with to fight fight both Lord Zed and whatnot. So like you get Goldar fighting some of these guys with his team versus like the extra baddies basically. And so yeah, it's interesting. You get to see I'm blanking on the dude's name, but Zed's fighting the Power Rangers, and the big tube guy.
Oh,
I should be able to find it, but like they're actually fighting because I mean it's on the cover. You can see him and in his like battle suit thing, and that's pretty sweet. And like they're having a lot of lore building up between them that I didn't know was a thing from what I remember in the TV show and stuff.
Zordon,
yeah, it's pretty cool though. And if you're a Power Ranger fan, like there's no reason for you not to be reading this book. But if you're not, then it's like I get not reading it, but it's a cool time. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Nice, solid start. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog Imposter Syndrome number 2. It's written by Ian Flynn with art by Thomas Roethlisberger. I assume Ben's brother, but who knows?
Yeah, has to be. His parents are so proud of him.
So yeah, Dr. Starline is using Surge and Water Tails. I have no idea what their names are. Oh, Kit, that's what it is. Using them to take over one of Eggman's old bases, because Starline's whole thing is he wants to show Eggman that he's a serious baddie, and from that wants to team up with him and work together. He just wants to be like the ringleader for everything. So comes up with this plan for Surge and Kit to take out the baddies and upload a blah 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 onto the radio tower to take over all the badniks. And Surge and Kit do so, but not with Starline's plan, because Starline's messing with their minds, and I don't know. I think it's all going to come down to that. Like it's going to go badly for Starline because he's been manipulating these two. So I don't know if it's going to pull the classic Sonic, they're friends now after this is all done,
Yeah.
or if they're going to be anti-heroes or whatever. But we get some bonding between the two, which we didn't get in the first issue. So there's some decent character development for a Sonic the Hedgehog comic in this. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like the fights and I like the interactions and the development. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
You know, if this book was written by Ken Penders instead of bonding, there would have been a lot of bondage between the two of them.
You're not wrong. And thankfully, Ken Penders is never writing Sonic again.
I mean, never say never. Okay, so next up, it's going to be Stillwater, number 12 by Chip Zdarsky and Ramon K. Perez. And yeah, so basically they're just the main character's mom is, and like one of her friends and the sheriff are all going to be teaming up to try to take over the town. And then a lot of shooting happens, a lot of like a kid gets literally shot in the face. But like since no one dies in the town, he's just slowly coming back, so they have to like try to keep killing him and stuff. And and a lot of different stuff happens. It's pretty crazy, the ending, how they change stuff. It's wild. Yeah, it's interesting. And it looks like Stillwater is gonna be done after this issue, and we're gonna be getting they have the name Stillwater The Escape next. So it's coming out in March. Should be exciting. I'm gonna give this about an 8 also with this, maybe 7.5 again. It was good.
What about the series? What's the series rating?
Series 8.5. I really have enjoyed it. And I think it's gonna be even better collected. So like with you, since you haven't been reading from the start, if you're like, I'm gonna give this a go, or if you're just like, when it gets announced for a TV show and you guys that are listening are like, heard Casey talking about this, let's just give it a go. Maybe I'll call over to comic headquarters on Telegraph Road and see if they have it, in trade. And then you're going to like it probably even more than I did. And that's not the only book I'm going to say this about this week.
Excellent. All right. Next I'll do King of Spies number 2. It's by Mark Millar and Matteo Scalera. And I did like number 2 a lot more than number 1. It's just more of Roland trying to redeem himself before he dies. I don't think Mark Millar is taking this too seriously, but if he is, then it's funny for a different reason. But man, there is just some like hardcore violence in this book, like insanely hardcore violence. And then 2 of the deadliest assassins in the world are coming after Roland in the next issue. But this is what it is. He's just a torso and she has no arms, but they work together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't think he's taking it too seriously, or no, that wouldn't be in it. But
I don't think he knows how to take things too seriously. Like, yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons like why people love him and why some people just are not a fan.
Yeah, well, this was such a big step up from the first one, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5 and stick with it for the rest of the mini. It's a good time, and the art, like I love Scalera's art.
Right on. All right, so next up, it's going to be What's the Furthest Place from Here? Number 3, and this is by, what's the dudes for Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg. And it's wild. Lots of crazy stuff happens. They ended up in that old folks' home, and wasn't supposed to be anyone living there, but then there are these kids that are like just dressed up like old people. And, they're like acting like old people too and stuff. And our main group of people are like, go, they accidentally kill one of like the older people, the actual like whatever they're called. They're these like weird looking humanoid things. They killed one of them and they're in trouble now. They get told to leave the old folks home. and some of them stay, and then the stuff that happens to them is crazy. And then they're gonna go to a carnival in the next issue. It's gonna be weird. This is a weird book, but like if anything I said made you go like, this doesn't make any sense, welcome to my world. But I'm enjoying it so much. Like it's a lot of fun. I think everyone listening to this should be reading it. I think Jake should be reading it. The art in it is really cool. The story itself is just so weird and out there and interesting. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 5 or 9 out of 10. It's so good. It's a 9 out of 5.
No, it sells like really well at the shop for a non-big 2 book.
Dude, Rosenberg was tweeting about like, because that you didn't get the record version because like Diamond screwed you over, and he was tweeting about how much those are going for now, and it's just insane.
Yeah, Diamond just like straight up canceled my order on the first 2. So the customer that wanted it has not asked for it since, because I think he's just like really angry at Diamond, and I don't blame him.
No, that sucks.
Yeah. All right. Next, I'll do Robin and Batman number 3. It's the final issue of the miniseries, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Dustin Nguyen. And I like this issue a lot. It wrapped up really well. Croc comes to Dick's school and is like looking for him. Batman shows up to try and save him, but gets taken by Croc. And I mean, they kind of explained it well. Batman was like crime fighting and was not at 100%, like had broken ribs. So Croc was able to exploit that and tied him up and took him to the old Haley Circus grounds. And so Robin had to, rescue Batman on his own, and did so in a way that wasn't too unbelievable. But then we get some stuff where he makes some friends at school and goes to play Dungeons and Dragons with them, which is fun, and makes friends with the Teen Titans. Everything just kind of wrapped up really nicely. I haven't been like super hot on Lemire's superhero stuff, but this one is like definitely my favorite. If you guys need just like a short 3-issue cool Robin and Batman story, or if you're a big Dick Grayson fan, I highly suggest it. But I would give this one a 9, and the series overall probably like an 8.5. It was really good.
Well, here's a genuine question. I know since he can't do it, I want to do like imaginary, editor Jake. Like, let's say Jeff Lemire is like, oh, I'm doing Batman and Robin, but for all 3, we're not going to do Damian, but all 3 Robins, since who would you get to be the artist in those other 2? Because I think Dustin's art works really well with Dick. There, would you switch it up from the other 2, or would you get someone, or would you keep it?
I think mixing it up would be fun. Jason's would have to be a little, I don't know, I don't want to say darker, but that they would change the tone of it a little bit. So someone like Jason Fabok maybe for that. For Tim, gosh, I don't know who I'd do for Tim. But yeah, I think I would want a different artist for each one. This one, Dustin Nguyen's style is so good with the watercolors and all that, and just fits Dick's personality a lot better.
Yeah,
I think.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but that would be a great idea. I know that that's not going to happen, but now I really wish that it were.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't think it's going to, but how cool! Like, it might still happen just with a different, get Tom Taylor on it, or
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing Tom King and Mitch Gerards are going to be doing.
We can only hope.
Okay, so next up for me, it's going to be We Ride Titans, and this is by Tress Dean and Sebastian Perez doing the art. And this is an interesting book. It's pretty weird. So this family basically fights giant monsters like in mechs, and the dude was just like drunk and when he was doing it, and now he's like in rehab. So they're trying to get his sister, his estranged sister, to take over fighting the monsters. And so this is very much what I thought was going to be a fun kaiju fighting romp turned out to be a family drama book, but it's still pretty dang good. Like I was into it the whole time, and it read like it was probably 3 pages, but it's a full book, like it's when I'm like saying that, it's not bad at all. Like I think most people would enjoy it, but it's just like know what you're getting into. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty solid start. All right. Then my final one is Batgirls #2. I'll be brief because I don't want to spoil anything. It was really cool. We learn some more about those 3 bad guys from the end of the first one and kind of what they specialize in. And then a little bit more about the weird like zombie virus thing. And yeah, they're you know how they were super suspicious about that neighbor guy. We get a little bit more of him in it too, which was cool. And there's a big thing on the last page that I'm not going to mention, but it involves the graffiti artist person that is all over this part of town. But man, I really like this dynamic, and the art and the colors are so fun. I love everything about it. 9 out of 10.
Just thinking about it, I bet Barbara is just so tired of being the mom because she's the mom for those 2. And then anytime Dick Grace, like now she's dating Dick again, she's gonna be his mom too. So it's just like, all 3 of them together, and she's just like, oh my God, I need to get away.
It's pretty annoying when they write it like that too. Like Tom Taylor definitely does in the Nightwing book, but man, I really miss when Dick initially left for Bloodhaven and was just like bartending and trying to become a police officer and was just like doing, just being himself.
Yeah, but I love that one issue. It was I think Devin Grayson wrote it when he like got like just went through a glass window, and he just shows up on Barb's door, and he's like, hey, how you doing, type thing, and she's just like not happy with him at all because he's like bleeding everywhere, and so she's like calls Alfred to stitch him up and stuff, and she is just not having it with him.
Right. I remember that was funny.
Okay, so my next book is going to be The Good Asian, and this is by Pornsak, Pichishot, and Tefaningi. And yeah, I mean, as I say every week, this book, if you're not reading it, you're gonna have to read it collected and it's gonna be probably better for you that way. It's really good. It's kind of giving more story. Like this is kind of like filling in some blanks that we didn't have, like a lot of detective stories will do, where it's like getting close to the end and it's like, oh, here's some stuff that happened that you probably didn't pick up on. And yeah, this is really good. It's a very good character story, and the end is very exciting. I really liked it. 8.5 out of 10. And then I'll touch on Hotell. This is by John Lees with Dalibor Telegic on the art. And yeah, so this is another story of a person ending up in this, scary hotel, and she's slowly losing her mind in her room, and a lot of kind of goes like sees some mold on the wall that's driving her crazy, and she's just not able to leave, and she's just crazy. And I'm really, and it kind of connects some of the the last issue, and so I'm curious to see how this is gonna work with the series as a whole. And I really like this. This is gonna be a 9 out of 10. And then lastly, it's Deathstroke Inc. And this is by Joshua Williamson with Howard Porter on the art. And I was hyped for this book, and it has not lived up to that hype for me. It's been kind of a letdown, this series as a whole. But we're gonna get Prometheus. Like Prometheus shows up in this issue along, with some other characters, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of this has just been kind of a letdown of a series. And yeah, so some stuff happens. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger. nothing's gonna come of this cliffhanger. I can tell you that much. I don't think, spoiler alert, Slade is gonna actually die. But yeah, it's just kind of a letdown. I was hoping for a lot more. So I'm gonna give that a 5.5 out of 10. And now I'm
Sounds
ready.
like a drop to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of my high ratings for this book otherwise was just me being so gosh darn hopeful that is gonna, I guess, gonna get good, I swear, and then it just never got great like I wanted it to. Okay,
Oh, what can you do?
Now it's our books that we read together. So what order do you want to do, man?
Um, let's do Task Force, Titans Academy, Robin Joker action.
Like, you read my mind, my friend. That's how I had it set up.
Excellent. All right. Task Force Z number 3. And this is written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Eddie Barrows. Casey, what were your initial thoughts?
I liked it. I like the art a lot. The fights in it are pretty sweet. The big reveal at the end is pretty interesting, I'll say that. And that Bane part had me laughing.
I know, dude. Same.
What about you?
I continue to love this book.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't get it, but it's great. Yeah, I really like the Bane scene too. It was funny, but also just like genuinely cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really curious where that reveal on the final page is going to go.
Now, since you are a fan of Jade or Cheshire or whatever, like what do you think of her in this?
You know, I think that was like the perfect role for her. She shouldn't
Yeah.
be too much more than that.
Yeah.
And really, it's hard to say, dude. The Bat family are written to be so good all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think Jade could probably take Jason if it came down to it, but having Bane come up and just like, she's not gonna beat Bane, especially a zombie Bane. So
Yeah. See, like I disagree. Like, to me, okay, so there's one thing that really annoys me is like Jade should be like here, and then like like a lot of the Bat family guys should be like here. Batman should be like up here, and then like Shiva should be like a little bit above Batman in skill. Like, Batman has the toys to beat her type of thing. But then like here lately, it's just like all of them are like up here with Shiva, maybe even higher than her now. I'm like, guys, they're not better than Shiva. Get out of here.
yeah, well, I mean, they're just not reading the early 2000s DC here lately.
Right.
Is all it comes down to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really really like this book, man. This one's got a 9. Like, I really don't have too much to complain about. So
Yeah, I'm at an 8.5. I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. It should be a lot of fun. I liked it a lot too. Okay, and next up, it's going to be Teen Titans Academy number 10 by Tim Sheridan and Mike Morton on the art. And oh wait, we got Tom Dernick also on the art. Looks like. So, what did you think about this, man?
it's losing me, dude. It's losing me a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a perfectly fine issue. I just don't like how some of the characters are written. And I don't know. I just think the Red X stuff has gone on too long. Like, I really thought we were gonna find out who it was sooner than this. But I don't know. Like, it's okay. It's just, if there's a week where there's like a bunch of books out that I'm reading, I might just like let this go and not pick it back up.
Yeah, like this is like a tale of two books with this one. It's like I actually liked the Red X stuff this time, along with old Devil Sun. But then like when the Titans are kind of like just talking like, let's kill him. And like Raven, who is the one that should be like, we shouldn't, because I was also supposed to bring about Apocalypse, if you guys remember. And and then she's like, yeah, I think you're right. I had this vision that he's gonna, it's just like, how is this your guys' thought process?
That's what I mean by not
Yeah.
liking how some of them are written. And like, I'll say this though, I really, really love Raven's costume. Like
Yeah.
whoever designed it did such a good job on this. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's not bad. It's just we talk about all the time how they're not like giving us reasons to care about some of these people. And at this point, dude, we're 10 issues in. Like, I don't know. We just need to get a little more. It's a fine book. It's just like, do I really care about this Dane person that much? And do I really even care who's under the mask of Red X that much anymore? The answer is not really.
Yeah. And then like the Rags, they were so dang annoying.
Yeah.
It's just like, get out of here, kid. You're terrible. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's like a tale of two books though, because I thought they did a good job with Dane and Red X, but then like the stuff with the actual Teen Titans, like the original Titans, was real bad. So I'm at a 5. Almost said 4.5. I was like, oh, let's round up and give them a 5 because the
Uh,
art was good. We didn't talk about that, but the art in it was actually pretty good this time.
the art is good. I'm also at a 5 with it. I think it's perfectly middle of the road. So I do like a good creepy, origin like we got with Dane.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Okay, then we've got Robin #9, and it's written by Joshua Williamson with art by Roger Cruz. And I like this one more than Teen Titans Academy. How did you feel about it, buddy?
It is better than Teen Titans Academy for sure. It's just the giant demon thing is pretty dang stupid,
Mhm.
but it was pretty cool. I love Alfred talking to, Damien and stuff. So it'd be really funny if like Alfred's not dead and he's actually there, like just pretending to be a ghost, and like everyone else can see him too. And he's like, no, it's the ghost of my butler that I caused to die.
Yeah, I will say it took me out a little bit when he's laying there and the demon is right above Hawk, but we
Yeah.
got to go through 8 pages of Damien learning a life lesson from Alfred's
Hmm.
ghost before we get back to, and then he assembles everybody and then they all go off and do the plan, and it's like, dude, he's standing above Hawk. He could have just killed him at any point during this.
Well, he's not rude. He's a demon. He's got manners.
Yeah, the pacing is just a little bit off, but I still really liked it a lot. I still like the change of Roger Cruz on the book, and I'm excited for the next part.
And I will say too, though, it's kind of like outside of Robin just getting everyone together, just the thinking in your head type of thing. Like, like think about it as like Robin was mildly dreaming, and dreams always do go quicker than out there. So like, because like I had a dream once that I turned 100 years old, and when I woke up it was only 3 a.m. So like it's the same thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I'm at a 7.5 for this book. I liked it okay. It's the ending's kind of weird, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm at an 8. I think I liked it just a bit more than you.
Okay, so next up it's gonna be The Joker, number 11 by James Tynan and Sam Tucci on the art. What's his first name? Gotta find it. Gosh darn DC in there. Stupid stuff. It's Giuseppe Camuncoli on the art. But what do you think of it, man?
Um, it's filler. Like I thought it was weird that he was back in Gotham. Just woke up back in Gotham. No recollection of traveling halfway across the world or whatever. And I know that he was injured and he's an older guy, but I don't know. It was weird. And then like I liked this weird serial killer origin story the first time we saw it. I was like, oh, we got some background info on this character that's in the asylum. That's all we need from it. But now it's like, oh, we're back to that. And honestly, who cares?
Oh, see, like, yeah, we're way off on this. I thought that was actually, it told us a lot more. It told them how the whole family didn't get in trouble, kind of like goes into this whole dark organization type of thing. And also why the family is so mad because they were promised, oh, he's gonna be protected, our brother, and blah blah blah. And I felt like the last issue was filler, was just like, why are we even getting this type of issue? Where this one, it's like it's actually progressing the story at least. So I enjoyed it a good bit, and we get a little bit of Bullock, which is pretty cool. I'm waiting for his spin-off series.
So that was going to be part of the pros, is I like Bullock and I like Gordon's internal dialogue because he sounds like a detective, and that's why we're reading this story. What was the other part? Oh,
What?
yeah, it's just like we know that these people aren't going to eat the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. So I just don't know why we have to go here when we know that, like, really after that next issue it's not going to matter.
You know what's going to happen if they tried to eat Joker? They'd get mad clown disease instead of mad cow. Do you get it?
If I had a tomato, Casey, I would chuck it at you.
And then you get your computer all messy because we're not together. But one thing that I do think is kind of funny, and it's like they used the wrong Batgirl to be watching over Gordon, because Stephanie would not hurt Gordon and risk his sutures coming out and bleeding everywhere. Cassie would know how to surgically hurt Gordon so his sutures wouldn't come out.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, I actually really enjoyed this issue up until the punchline stuff. And so this is by Sam Jones and James Tynan with Belen Ortega on the art. And did you read this one?
Absolutely not. But what I will say about it is that I flipped through every page and I think the art is fantastic.
The art is good. And we get some like Royal Flush Gang stuff, and then some like drama between Bluebird or Harper Rose, brother and his boyfriend, and he's got the worst like just judge of character, because like he was listening to them talking. He's like, oh, I should have known better. Then he's like, no, it's not like that. And he's like, oh, okay. It's just like, really? How are you this stupid?
That is all it takes.
So I skimmed it. It's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. It's like we talked about Tamaki just having that one story go too long. It's like, boy, this has been going on for 11. This had 0 filler issues. It's not no flashback issues like the other. No, they're telling their story all together. And it's still going on. It's so bad. So like for that, like this would have been like a 9 for me, this Joker, because I really, like I said, I really liked it. But that just brought it down to like a 6, because it's just like, why is this still going on?
Yeah, it's crazy that it brings it down that much, because I'm at a 7 with it.
Yeah,
it was totally fine. I just didn't read the backup because I know that it doesn't matter and it's crap.
It doesn't matter, it's crap, and then we're paying an extra $5.99 for this book. It's like I want the backup issue to be as good as it is in Action Comics that we will talk about now. I'll let you.
We're not paying an extra $5.99. We're paying an extra $2 for that backup, which I'm not justifying. It sucks that we're paying it,
so that he's getting marked down accordingly.
Fair enough. All right, so the final book is Action Comics 1038, and it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Miguel Mendonca on the art. So I realized how redundant that was. But anyway, Casey, what did you think of this book?
I mean, a lot happens in this book. A lot of stuff that made people upset, is going on. And I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. And it's like, at the end of the day, if you don't like this story, which maybe we won't end up liking the story as a whole, at least he understands the characters. And like this is like A plus material as far as like if someone was like, I don't really get Superman. This is something that you can have them read and they should like Superman after this because Philip Kennedy Johnson gets these characters that he's writing. Whether or not you like what's happening to them, which a lot of people on Twitter were very upset about. Killing fictional characters is never okay. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. I want to read a bit out of this one because this is one of those like can hang with the best of Superman quotes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Midnighter comes to break Superman out of his jail, and Superman tells him that he's not going. So Midnighter says, all of Warworld watched us get our asses kicked, and they cheered. Did you forget what they did to Apollo in June? Lee is dead, Blue. And Superman says, what should we do then? Abandon the ones who don't cheer for us? Stay down every time we get knocked down? Is that what our heroes taught us? And that just gave me shivers, Casey. Gave me shivers.
Yeah.
What do we do? Abandon the ones who don't cheer for us. I was like, my God, has there ever been a more Superman quote than that?
Well, I mean, I will say just to one up it too, though, there's like in this book, another part that's great too. When Midnighter's like just leaving, he's like, are their lives really worth more to you than ours? He's like, no, not more, but not less. Like,
I know.
So good.
It's good. It's really good. I mean, man, this is some good Superman.
It really is.
I even texted Casey just outside of this pod to say how much I liked it.
Yeah, like it was awesome, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And then the backup story, it's a Martian Manhunter backup story by Sean Aldridge and Audrina Mello on the art. What do you think of that?
I thought it was pretty cool. I like this backup. If I'm gonna pay an extra $2 for a backup, I'm glad it's a fun Martian Manhunter story.
And you're not even paying. It's only $1 extra because this book's only $4.99.
You're right. Well, mine was $5.99 because I really wanted this cover.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But I love the art. Like Martian Manhunter looks, I'm gonna say Kevin Guire-esque with the way he's looking, in my opinion. And you're more the expert on there. Do you agree or disagree with that?
No, I agree completely. If this book, like when this story gets collected inevitably, I would think that it is an early 2000s Martian Manhunter comic, and I mean that in the best way possible.
So where are you at with it, man?
10, honestly. I loved
Same
all of
here.
it.
There's nothing really you can complain about. It's just really good. I mean, there's people that are complaining about it, but for me, there's nothing I can complain about. I really, really liked it, and I'm just here for the ride.
What are people complaining about?
So the big thing is Grant Morrison. They created a team of very diverse, like diverse characters that are like queer and all this other stuff, and then they go here and they just get killed. They're fridging this whole team, that type of thing. And it's just like, and Philip Kennedy Johnson tweeted is like, yeah, and he like talked about all these other times where like beginning of stories, where all this terrible stuff's happened to these teams or these characters and stuff. It's like you're looking at it from this perspective of seeing it right here. Wait, judge it at the end. And I don't think these characters are going to stay dead.
No, probably not.
Because I mean, Superman, it looked like Superman dies plenty of times in the future state part, and they keep bringing him back. They kind of mention how they could bring back people. I have a feeling they're all going to come back. So
yeah. Plus, it's comics. Come on.
Yeah, right.
All right, and then, do you have the list pulled up for next week, Casey?
I mean, I have it about pulled up. Just give me one
and
second.
I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So for next week, my most excited, I'm going to say Moon Knight, to no one's surprise. The new Silk series starts, so I want to check that out for sure. And then probably the next Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
or Icon and Rocket. Like either of those could be up there. And that was my watch talking for no reason at all.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say Crimson Cage because that's just a really cool series. Um, gonna go with Silk also. That like I'm genuinely pumped for that, which is like so surprising that I am. And then Primordial. That book is one of my favorites right now. But now it is time for Fantastic Four. So I was just like, between us, like normally you can kind of see the stuff behind me, but you see the stuff behind you. We have nerdy crap in our places where we record. So I was just gonna say, what are like 4 of your favorite nerdy things, or just the nerdiest things that you own? Whatever. Show the camera. We can have fun with it.
Right. Well, there's some that, I mean, do you want me to like go get them?
If you want. I mean, I got mine because I was prepared, but if you want to be an amateur, go ahead.
Okay. Well, why don't you just go first then, and I'll gather mine.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with a actual comic that, because I have tons of comics in here, so I was like, well, I can't show them all, like my whole collection, but I am gonna show a comic that Jake actually got me. It is the New Frontier Absolute Edition. So this is what's really cool about this. I love Darwin Cook. I love this comic. I love the cartoon also. And this one, Jake got me autographed by the late, amazing Darwin Cook with even a sketch in it. It's amazing. So cool. And since I can only include one comic, that's the one I'm going to include. And then next, I like a vinyl here and there. And for Christmas this year, I got The Return of Godzilla from Mondo, pressings and on vinyl. And it's pretty cool. And it's also pops up. Look
That
at
is
this
incredible.
nonsense. So that's really cool. And then I have just tons of Godzilla figures, and I'm just going to include my favorite one. It's the Books A Million Godzilla Funko Pop. And the reason I'm not the biggest Funko Pop collector, I like them, but the reason why this one's so like my favorite is because it's autographed by the Heisei era suit actor, Kenpacho Satsume. I'm butchering his name, but I got to meet him at G Fest, and he autographed that for me. Super cool. And then the last thing I'm going to include, I'll show it to you. I have the Kong Skull Island Mondo poster, and then a Godzilla versus Destroya poster, and I have Godzilla versus the Invasion of the Astro Monster over there. I'm not going to turn around for that one, but I have Mondo posters that are professionally framed by somebody's grandpa.
It's mine.
Yeah. But that's mine, man. What about you?
Well, I grabbed a couple of things. I don't know if they're the nerdiest, but like I've got a map of the whole Northern Realms from Witcher 3 up behind my computer on the wall, along with 2 shelves of statues that go with it. I also have a Japanese copy of Fire Emblem Thracia
nice.
776. I have played it. I had to use a translator to do so, but I love that one. Keeping along with video games, you can see it right here above my finger. That is an NES box. It's in amazing shape. I've got everything that came with it is there and in good shape as well. But I think having the box in good shape is something to be proud of.
Yeah. Is that like the original? Like, is that one that you guys had growing up, or is that one that you bought special?
No, that is the original. My grandparents bought it actually.
Oh wow.
And
that's awesome.
Since I was obviously a huge game nerd growing up, they gifted it to me. So
that's
and
right.
Then another one I've got, I went to a really small video game convention a couple years ago, and there's a guy called the Gaming Historian on YouTube who has incredible, like 30 to 40 minute, really well researched videos about video game and video game history. He was there. I had him sign a copy of Star Fox on Super Nintendo. So I love that. And then you can see him back here on this shelf, that shelf right there. I don't know if you remember this, Casey. When we were kids, you could go to Burger King and get gold-plated Pokemon cards at Burger King. And I've got I've got all the cards, I think, except for maybe one. And then unfortunately, just two of the Pokeball display cases survived over the years. But always really love these gold-plated cards. So
Speaking of like the weird Burger King nerd toys, did you ever go there when they had the Dragon Ball Z stuff?
I remember them having it, but I never got any of it.
Okay, yeah, because I got like a Krillin and I think a Gohan. Like, but it's like the lamest kids meal toy though, because they're just like stone statues.
Yeah, there is no articulation at
Yeah.
all.
And they're not even like colored like the characters. It's just gray.
So bad.
Yeah.
That was fun though. I wouldn't mind doing that a few more times with just like
Yeah.
other stuff we have.
I mean, that's one of the things that's pretty funny is when that Eminem song came out, the Godzilla one, it got Godzilla trending, and like a lot of these Godzilla nerds on Twitter were like, since this is trending but not for the way that we want it to, let's just take pictures of our collection, guys. And then so they did, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna join in. And then I was like, oh, I have more than them. I feel like I've wasted a lot more money than they have. I'm not gonna do this.
Oh, that's great.
Because like I was expecting them all to be like the guy that does Kaiju Cast, or he used to do Kaiju Cast, Kyle. Like is like he's got like a basement that's just like stacks on stacks of like the vinyl figures and X Plus figures and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, everyone's crazy like Kyle. I don't have hardly anything. And then I see this, I'm like, no, I've wasted so much money.
It's not a waste if you enjoy it, dude.
True.
All right. Well, that was a fun way to cap off the episode. So now we'll go into the closing plugs. If you guys would go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast. For some reason, we're never active on Facebook.
I know. I'll try to post this episode if I remember. Like every like 10th episode I post.
You can also find us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC, where we're more active, as well as Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, please review us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this, as well as Spotify now, Casey, right? Has the new rating feature.
Yeah, it's just one. Yeah, you can only do 5 star. You can't just say like, oh, they have such beautiful voices, and I just think they are so knowledgeable. You know, you can't say that. You just 5 star it.
So please do that, as well as go to our YouTube channel, which is 2 Worlds Podcast on YouTube, and subscribe.
Now, have you checked the like the people talking about us, the ratings on iTunes?
I checked last week. I didn't check this week.
Okay. I doubt we had a influx since then.
Yeah.
So.
But if you guys would comment on the YouTube, what's the nerdiest thing you have in your nerd collection?
Yeah. Or like, I mean, like let's just go with prized possession even.
Yeah.
Like what's your like, oh man, this, whatever is like my Frank Miller autographed such and such or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that'll be cool to hear.
Yeah. We'll even read it out loud on the next episode because we like to share stuff like that.
Yeah. If we remember to.
Yeah. That's the thing. All right, guys. Well, we'd love to stay and chat, but Casey has to electrocute me a few times before we become best friends. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.